Now, you might think our cyber story ends there, but there is one more thing we need to make you aware of. The Cybermen exist only on TV at the moment, but how real is the possibility of the Cybermen? The answer lies in Reading.
I'm Kevin Warwick, Professor of Cybernetics at Reading University. I'm a great fan of Doctor Who. I'm also heralded as the world's first cyborg. And as such, my view on the Cybermen is quite interesting. The whole possibilities of, if you like, humans being upgraded with extra senses, new abilities, not just physical but mental particularly, taking them way beyond the capabilities of humans, for me is not just a science fiction concept, is something that is scientific, is something I'm trying to bring about myself. Well, what I had was an implant in my nervous system which linked my nervous system to the computer. It's a bit like putting an electrical plug in a socket, but instead of having 3 pins or 2 pins, what I had were 100 electrodes fired into my nervous system. Now that linked my brain via a computer onto the internet. And one experiment we did, I went to New York, to Columbia University, and there my nervous system was put onto the internet via the implant, and I was able to control this robot hand back in the UK. So when I moved my hand in New York, my brain signals went across the internet to move this robot hand in Reading in the UK. And when the robot hand grabbed hold of an object, there's little sensors in the fingertips and signals were sent back across the internet to stimulate my brain in New York. So I could feel via pulses of current in my brain in New York how much force the robot hand was applying on a different continent. And it didn't feel like my hand's feeling something, it didn't feel like pain. What it felt like, as far as my brain was concerned, was how much force the robot hand, which was part of me, was applying to an object. For me, the next experiment is going to be an implant in my brain and an implant in somebody else's brain, because what I would like to bring about is thought communication, direct communication from brain to brain. And I certainly want my brain to be part of that. I want to experience that because it is tremendously exciting. I put a timescale about 6 to 7 years, certainly within the next decade, that first thought communication experiment will be brought out, because the future of being able to communicate not in this silly old-fashioned way called speech, but be able to communicate directly by sending all the sort of richness of thoughts, ideas, concepts, abstract conditions, colours, images. If we can communicate those things in parallel, not this serial form, tremendously powerful form of communication that the Cybermen have at the moment, but hopefully humans, if we upgrade into Cybermen, we will have it too.
Excellent.
So if you fancy a body part replacing, or perhaps you want to be fully upgraded, those days might be closer than you think.